that's for. And they did say, the president of Microvote, that company, that he would be happy to come and talk to you about what that means if you'd like to hear from him.
Okay, hang on here. We're doing voter registration.
Correct.
Let's look at the county clerk. Anything there?
He didn't, it went down actually after our said it was good.
Yeah, no, she did good.
Yeah.
Okay, very good, no questions. Voter registration, that's where the $200,000 is
Yeah,
on the
and
equipment on
that's
that.
on, we actually added a new line to that because that's kind of a unique amount. So 404-100 is that budget line that was added just for that amount. So there wasn't anything in there prior.
How many voting machines does that buy?
We have 62 right now. I would like to get to 65. We're okay with 62 in most elections, but presidential year, I used every one, and I actually got 2 machines from the state on lease to use for my training classes, because we have to have live machines for training so that the poll workers can use them. I would like to have 2 that we can, of our own, to use for the training classes, and then 1 extra in case one fails, I can swap one out. So I would like to get to 65, and that's what this quote is for. But currently 62.
And there may not be on those, but there's no compatibility issues with any of the other government software or anything?
They aren't connected to anything.
They're not?
They don't even have internet access built into them. They're not wired to anything. No, they're plugged into the wall and that's it. Everything is pulled directly from them on a stick and put into, we have a printout, of course, at the end of the day, the votes, but it's also on a stick and put into our system to tally. But they are, no, there's no way to connect them to anything else.
And even then, the computer that card is put into in your office on election, like, that's
It's
not
not
on the internet
connected
either.
to the
yeah.
internet either,
People that
correct.
talk about how unsafe they are, it's,
Yeah, it's a laptop that has no internet.
Therefore,
Agreed.
that
They're very
prevents
secure.
the no hacking theory.
Correct, correct. I don't know how you could hack into the state system that has the voter registration in it. Someone's probably smart enough to, but with all the fail-safes that we have in place, there are multiple that we have to go through to get into it. I can't even get into it on my laptop at home, which mirrors my computer in the office because of those fail-safes. It's very secure. But the voting machines themselves, no way. Unless someone takes the machine, there's no way they could do anything with it.
Probably be a good time to get them next year when there's a lower election. You know, it's not like a federal election time.
Yeah.
For that.
And I know some of you guys, maybe all of you remember that when it's a municipal year, we pay for the election just like normal, but then the towns pay us back.
Yeah.
So we make a bill and show how much each town owes, and they'll write it back, and it goes back into the general fund. So yes, we pay it, but we do get it back when it's that municipal.
would you have these new machines in time to use them next year? Would you have to use
It
the old
depends
ones?
when we order.
Okay. Is it probably
There
good
is
to
a
use them?
delay,
Okay.
because they have to get in the chips, which is the big deal, is trying to get those chips in and then build them. So there is a delay. I can't say for sure until we get to that point.
It wouldn't be a bad idea to get those in next year and use them in municipal elections when it's not nearly as busy, before you have to use them in a presidential year. Yeah.
Could you even possibly buy them late this year with, I mean, not buy them, but get them, I should say, get them ordered. Get them on order late this year with, and then pay when an invoice comes, when they come in 27.
I'm sure they would want something down to start an order. I could ask how much that would be and how that would work. But I'm sure they're not gonna say no if we wanna get the order.
Yeah, but I mean, but if
sooner.
the lead time, if the lead time's, you know, adequate, then.
Last time I talked to him, he said about 6 months out.
6
From the
months.
time they get it till they can get them all built, but that may be different now.
Are they vastly different? Do you know, have you seen what the new one would look
Yes,
like? They're
yes.
quite a bit different.
I don't know that the voter's gonna notice a big difference, except that they're color screens versus black and white screens.
Oh, okay.
But I've been told the insides are very different.
Oh, okay.
And they, like I said, they'd be happy to come and talk about that, because that's not my forte, but.
Could you use part of the funds out of your for preparation? Nope.
Not for election stuff, no. That's clerk.
I was gonna say you had some money there that if you needed a down payment.
No. I
Okay.
wish, but no, it's a
All right.
separate.
How many employees do you have that do work as poll workers?
Most
Roughly.
locations have 5. I have 7 at a couple of the busier spots, and on election day, I have 8 locations. I have 2 Saturdays that we have multiple locations open, like this election, I'll have 3 locations open on 2 Saturdays. And then we have 28 days of early voting in the office.
Yeah.
But every election is unique.
I messed
so-
that question up. I want to know how many county employees we have that you use as poll workers.
That's up to them. Every election's different. I ask people who wants to work, and some years people volunteer like crazy, and other ones they say, no, I want my day off. So I have no way of knowing
How many you have last time?
10. I'm not tons, but some do like to get the extra
Yeah.
money. So 10, 12.
I was just
maybe.
curious, actually, since,
Maybe less. And municipal elections are really unique too, because for a presidential or midterm, you know everyone in the county is voting, but in municipal, you're limited on voters anyway because they have to be in town limits. And like 4 years ago in the primary, we only had one contested race, and that was the city council race in Washington, so only 2 precincts voted in the entire election. So it was a really small election.
yeah.
But you don't know, if we have something contested in Elnora and Odin and Plainville, it could be a pretty big election. But I know it's gonna be less locations right off the bat, just
Yeah.
because it's municipal, but I don't know how many less until I see who files to run. And who files, some will get voters out, and others will be like, oh,
Yeah.
it doesn't really affect turnout. So every election is unique. This year, as you saw earlier, I did have to transfer quite a bit in my budget to get to the absentee poll workers, which is the early voting people. But I don't anticipate that next year, because if it's not gonna be a big election with a lot of competition, we'll shorten the voting to 14 days instead of 28, which will help a lot with that. So we should be fine next year. But the following year, I may need to add a little bit to that line,
Okay.
see when we get there. Because it's presidential again, so that's a whole other level of crazy.
Yeah. Good.
Almost gets back to the question is why are the 2 buildings closed on election day anyway?
I can check into that, but I believe the statute passed this year that they are required to now. That was not the case before, and a lot of them were open, but I can check into that for you. I wasn't paying attention to that statute because it didn't affect me, but I believe,
That's probably major chaos anyway, but
I certainly don't want my clerk's office open
Oh.
while I'm trying to run an election, because
Sure.
it can be a nightmare. And we do use the courthouse as a polling place, and on election day, it's in the basement. They don't go up the stairs into the office, it's downstairs, because we're up there doing all kinds of stuff, taking phone calls and talking through, things. So I don't want people up there bothering me. So it's down there. So if we had the offices open and people were coming in for court and walking past voters, it's a little scary how that would work, honestly.
any other questions for Lauren?
How come you changed places in Odin for the,
Because they had 2 weddings on both of the Saturdays.
Oh.
I called months ago to get it, and they had weddings, both of them. I wouldn't have otherwise. I love that location.
yeah,
And then we were doing it 2 Saturdays because I usually at that place have 8 machines, and that facility is only gonna have room for 6, so I decided we'll just have 2 Saturdays instead of 1, so that we make sure that no one's standing in line very long and everyone gets their opportunity to vote early if they want to. Election day is still at the community building, so we'll still have, I think, 10 machines there on election day, if I remember correctly, 8 or 10, yeah.
and how about Tom's moving? Did you get any?
We are working on a possible contract with someone else.
Yeah, you mentioned you were looking for other options.
Yeah, I have an option, and they're writing up something for me as we speak, so
Okay.
I'll get that to you as soon as I get it, and we'll see.
Were you not happy with the last one, or just expense of it, or both?
We can talk about it after the
Okay.
meeting.
Any other questions?
Know about it already? Okay.
Okay. That's the case. You can stay there, but we will close for lunch. Recess, and we'll come back at whatever.